Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's a pleasure to have you here. It's a pleasure for you to watch me and for me to make these videos for you. If you are a new subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing. If you are a day one, thank you so much for supporting me from the very beginning. You've seen my worst days and my best days. You know, you've been with me through thick and thin, and I'm just happy right now that I'm in a position to just create content. I fractured my ankle, so that gave me some time to slow down and to get to making videos of stuff that I've wanted to talk about for a while. Anyway, I could go on and on and on and on and on and on. Right, so this video is going to be about which TEFL to do, which TESOL or CELTA to do. And this is a question that a lot of people have asked me: which TEFL did you do? So before I came to Hong Kong, when I was doing my master's, and I said, well, eventually I want to go work abroad, so I need to do a TEFL. I'd always see like TEFL adverts popping up. Adverts. Yeah, adverts. You know, popping up. And I said, well, I want to like get to know what this is. You know, it looks like a good opportunity to go abroad and work. So what is this actually about? So I did my research, and I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest, but I just sort of bumped into a really good TEFL that I did. So the TEFL that I did took me through quite a number of things. So I'm going to sort of show you what my TEFL was about, what it entailed. And this is like, you know, a question that I get a lot from people. To say, well, what TEFL did you do? Can I do this TEFL? Will it be a good TEFL? Just, you know, I can't really answer the questions because I've only done my TEFL with one company, and the company was really good. And so that's a company that I would probably want to talk about at this moment. That is my only experience, and so that is the one experience that I want to talk about. So let me get to this TEFL certificate. At this point, I'm still looking for that TEFL certificate, and I cannot find it. And I still couldn't find that certificate in my entire phone until I did this. Okay, so I finally got it. So the TEFL that I did, it had quite a few components, right? So it was a TEFL, a level 5 certificate. It was, I think the governing, like the marking authorizing board was TQUK, so Training Qualifications UK. And I did a few modules. So I did teaching English vocabulary, teaching productive skills, speaking and writing, understanding English grammar. I also did lesson planning for teaching English as a foreign language, teaching English as a foreign language to young learners, teaching receptive skills, which are listening and reading, using resources effectively when teaching English as a foreign language, teaching English grammar, materials and aids for teaching English, principles of teaching English as a foreign language, teaching pronunciation of English. So these are the things that my TEFL entailed. And it was altogether, it was like a 168 guided hours. And there's like my certificate number, and as well as the awarding body, which is TQUK. So this is what I did for my TEFL. Just one moment. Okay, so these are the things that I did during my TEFL. So when you're asking me, I think like you can look if like your TEFL has the same things, because I've seen like teachers in schools that have done the TEFL that I did with the same organization, teaching in like really good schools. So that also just boosted my confidence. Like I didn't know it when I did it, but I just happened to find it at that time, and that's the TEFL that I did. I did not have any teaching practice. It was just guided hours. I had to write assignments that were marked and returned, and I never failed an assignment, so I don't know what would happen if you ever failed, if you have to resubmit. But yeah, you do have to resubmit if you failed an assignment. I never failed an assignment. I passed all my assignments and I got my TEFL qualification. 168 hours of learning. So in Hong Kong, yes, they do consider a TEFL, a TESOL, or a CELTA. But the thing about a TEFL is, if you want to get a job using a TEFL, make sure that your TEFL has teaching hours. Because the thing is, you need that teaching practice. You need that practicum. If it doesn't have those teaching hours, then they're not going to consider your TEFL as a teaching qualification. So you might say, well, I have a bachelor's degree and I have a TEFL. This is what I've done. And they'll say, well, of course you have 168 hours. Great. Some countries appreciate that, but in Hong Kong, yes, you have 168 hours, perfect, but how many hours did you have of teaching practice? 0, and automatically that nullifies your TEFL. So people usually go for a CELTA or a TESOL. A CELTA is offered by the University of Cambridge, and a TESOL should be offered by, just one moment. Guys, I'm trying to give you facts, okay? Facts. And a TESOL is offered by Trinity. I'm not sure if it's like Trinity College or it's just like it's offered by Trinity, whilst a CELTA is offered by the University of Cambridge. Both of them are both accepted in Hong Kong. No certificate is accepted over the other, because they teach more or less the same principles and they are just as rigorous, you know. And I did my CELTA. I'm gonna put like the link somewhere here so you can get to see my review of the CELTA that I did. And that CELTA opened doors for me. It got me employed directly by a school, and I got paid a salary that I was asking for. So it does open doors for you. And the reason why people go for a CELTA or a TESOL is because it has teaching practice. So my CELTA had teaching practice. I did it during a time where Zoom was, where COVID happened and we weren't allowed to travel, or we weren't as mobile as we would have loved to be. So I did my teacher training online on Zoom. Well, classes were being taught on Zoom anyway. Schools had migrated to Zoom, so it pretty much worked to my own advantage. And by the way, my TEFL, I did my TEFL with the TEFL Academy in South Africa. So that's why I did my TEFL. It's still a good TEFL. It will get you employed. But normally when you do that TEFL, you still need to do your CELTA if you want to get employed by the government, and also if you want to have a leg up against someone who just has a TEFL with no teaching experience, then you come in with your CELTA. Some TEFL does have teaching practicum, so you have to look for that. When you're looking for a CELTA, look for that teaching practicum. But in terms of being employed by the government in Hong Kong, you need a CELTA or a TESOL. You know, that's something that they really that they have reiterated, they have highlighted. Those are the certificates that they acknowledge when it comes to applying for a government teaching job in Hong Kong. So I did my CELTA. I had my teaching practicals. I think I had about 6 to 8 hours teaching. Must have been 6 hours or so. I must have been 8 hours teaching practicals, which is okay in terms of applying for jobs in Hong Kong. So just be aware of those things. When you're doing a TEFL, make sure it has your practicals, your teaching practical. If you don't want to do a TEFL, because you know what though, you might as well just go ahead and do that CELTA or that TESOL, to be honest, because it's a leg up, it's a grade above. So that is something that you want. So doing a TEFL is not a waste of time. It could be a waste of money. You'd rather aid that money, you'd rather push that money or channel it into doing a CELTA. A CELTA takes about the same time that a TEFL does. And guys, a CELTA is from the University of Cambridge. I mean, seriously, Cambridge, you know. And a TESOL as well. Trinity is like one of those colleges that is really up there when it comes to like teacher training. They have a good reputation, so that's what you want. You want to get a qualification that's from a reputable company or a reputable university. So in terms of the TEFL's question, that's my answer. Get a TEFL that has like really good components, teaching components, that has assignments, that has a teaching practical. That is what you need. And besides the CELTA, besides the TEFL, I'd say do a CELTA, do a TESOL. that is the next best thing that you can do for yourself and for your teaching career in Hong Kong or abroad. If you have been job hunting and you have been looking at jobs abroad, you would have come across a CELTA or a TESOL, with no doubt, without any doubt, you would have come across it. And that is why I'm not going to say much about a CELTA because I have done a video about it. So if you want to know more information, please just watch the video. I'm not going to say it all over again. It's just like a really long video, a really long informative video. So guys, I hope I answered your question about a TEFL, CELTA, or TESOL. If I left out anything, feel free to put that in the comment section. If you want me to talk about some stuff, comment section. If you want me to like address certain things, comment section. Comment section is your friend. Thank you for watching. Share this video with a friend, with an auntie, with an ex, or someone that you think my video will be of use to. It's been nice chatting with you. I hope that you get to fight for your dream and you pursue your dreams. And remember, you are a boss. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And until the next video, bye.